Hi, I'm Brittany Riley and you're in the Kitchen with Britt. I'm here at Home Appliance in Avon, Ohio, and we are going to make a shrimp boil. So it's a really pretty simple dish that feeds a big crowd and it's fun and festive. Basically, we've got a nice big pot. I filled it a little bit more than halfway with water and we're going to add in all of our aromatics. So herbs, seasonings, some lemons, all sorts of good stuff to basically flavor a broth. So we'll start off, we are going to juice some lemons right into it. And then since it's a broth, we're gonna go ahead and add in those whole lemons as well. Obviously you wanna make sure to wash those ahead of time. There's a lot of optional, I'm just gonna keep splashing myself. There's a lot of optional items that you can add into here. You know, you could add in some dried chilies. You can add in, you know, some of your favorite extra herbs. I like to stick to basically a bunch of bay leaves, the Old Bay seasoning. I think that thyme is one of the most perfect herbs for this. When I say Old Bay seasoning, I do mean a lot. Since this is a broth, you know, we're cooking everything in it. It's going to get a bunch of that onto the food, but this broth isn't being served with the food. So you really need to kind of over flavor it basically. We have some salt in here. We have a bunch of garlic and then a bunch of that dried thyme. Bay leaves are in. Basically what you can do as far as the garlic is you can cut the tops off of a couple of bulbs and put them in whole, or you can put in garlic cloves. Either way, when we do go to serve this and kind of strain the food out of it, you want to try and get that garlic as well because that's perfect for spreading on like your French bread that you serve with it. What we're gonna do is bring this up to a boil and just kind of then let it simmer for 15-20 minutes to just get a lot of the flavor infused into the broth. If we kind of went too quickly, we wouldn't get a lot of flavor. So we'll get this going, and it's perfect because while that's happening, we can prep all of the ingredients that are going in. You know, the major thing with a seafood boil is that you're just kind of layering. So we're gonna be doing some potatoes, corn, kielbasa, some shrimp. You could add in clams or mussels or all sorts of extra items, but we're just gonna kind of stick to those. So we start with the potatoes, let them go for a little bit, then we add the corn. You know, we kind of go accordingly with the things that take the longest to cook all the way up to the ones that take the shortest amount of time. I am going to go ahead and just chop up 2 onions and toss those in as well, just because it gives a lot of flavor. And then we'll come back and start adding in our ingredients. Okay, so we are finished. Basically, I'm using like a wok spider to kind of get everything out of here. You could use a strainer, especially if you're making a smaller batch. But what we're looking for is shrimp to be pink, which means cooked through, and we don't want to overcook it. They would kind of shrivel up and get really dry. So basically, the shrimp was in for only about 5 minutes at the end. Now, as we're straining it, you want to kind of watch out for those lemon halves because we don't really need those. If you're serving a crowd, you can get this all prepped and it can, you know, be poured right onto a paper tablecloth to be kind of fun and festive, or you can serve it, you know, plate by plate. I would suggest having some lemon wedges with it. That way people can add them. I made a little butter to pour over the top. Definitely need some butter as it's coming out of the broth. So you can do just straight butter, or I added a little bit of paprika, a little bit more thyme, and some garlic. You can do what you want. I kept mine pretty middle of the road as far as spice. Like I said, you can add in some, you know, dried chilies to the broth, or you could add some cayenne pepper to that butter. That way it's kind of an optional add-on. But have fun with it and enjoy.